legacy of leadership, America's most popular presidents. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating history of the United States by exploring the top 10 most popular U.S. presidents and their greatest accomplishments. From the birth of a nation to navigating the complexities of the 21st century, these leaders have left an indelible mark on America's story. Stay tuned to learn about the leaders who shaped the nation. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. George Washington, forging a nation. Our journey begins with George Washington. George Washington served as the first president of the United States from 1789 to 1797. He was inaugurated as president on April 30, 1789, and served 2 terms, voluntarily stepping down after his second term, which ended on March 4, 1797. Washington, leading a fledgling army against the mighty British Empire, secured the freedom we cherish today. But his leadership extended far beyond the battlefield. As the first president, he established precedents that continue to guide the nation today. Washington, with wisdom and resolve, navigated the unknown, establishing the foundation for a nation built on liberty and justice. He could have held on to power, but instead, he chose to step down, setting a critical precedent for the peaceful transfer of power. George Washington, a soldier, a statesman, a leader who embodied the spirit of a nation yearning for freedom. His story is where America's story begins.
Thomas Jefferson, visionary of the West. Our next chapter takes us to Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson served as the 3rd President of the United States from 1801 to 1809. He was inaugurated on March 4, 1801, and served 2 terms, ending his presidency on March 4, 1809. As the 3rd President, Jefferson orchestrated the Louisiana Purchase, doubling the size of the young nation. To explore this uncharted territory, Jefferson commissioned the Lewis and Clark expedition, igniting the spirit of westward expansion. Jefferson, a man of contradictions, wrestled with the institution of slavery even as he owned slaves himself. He was a staunch advocate for education, founding the University of Virginia and a champion of religious freedom. Thomas Jefferson, a man of immense intellect and vision, left an indelible mark on America's landscape, shaping the nation's destiny for generations to come.
Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator. Our journey now takes us through one of the most turbulent periods in American history, the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln served as the 16th President of the United States from March 4, 1861, until his assassination on April 15, 1865. At the helm, Abraham Lincoln, a man whose words and actions would forever change the course of a nation. Lincoln, steadfast in his belief that a house divided against itself cannot stand, led the Union through its darkest hour. With unwavering resolve, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring all persons held as slaves shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free. His words at Gettysburg continue to resonate through the ages. Lincoln's legacy is forever intertwined with the preservation of the Union and the abolition of slavery. His life, tragically cut short by an assassin's bullet, serves as a reminder of the fragility of democracy and the enduring power of leadership in the face of adversity. Theodore Roosevelt, the Trust Buster. Theodore Roosevelt served as the 26th President of the United States from 1901 to 1909. He initially became president on September 14, 1901, after the assassination of President William McKinley, and then won re-election in 1904, serving a full term until March 4, 1909. As we enter the 20th century, we encounter Theodore Roosevelt, a larger-than-life figure who brought energy and a progressive spirit to the presidency. Roosevelt, known as the Trust Buster, took on powerful corporations, advocating for fair competition and consumer protection. He spearheaded the construction of the Panama Canal, transforming global trade and cementing America's role as a world power. A conservationist at heart, Roosevelt established national parks and protected millions of acres of land. Theodore Roosevelt left an indelible mark on the presidency, expanding its scope and setting the stage for a more active role for the federal government in shaping American life.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, leading through crisis. Franklin D. Roosevelt served as the 32nd President of the United States from March 4, 1933, until his death on April 12, 1945. He is the only U.S. president to have served more than 2 terms, having been elected 4 times. His presidency spanned the Great Depression and most of World War II. Our journey takes us now to the depths of the Great Depression, a time of economic hardship and despair. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, elected in 1932, offered hope and a new deal for the American people. Roosevelt, with his reassuring fireside chats, used the power of radio to connect with the American people, offering comfort and a path forward. His New Deal programs, from the Civilian Conservation Corps to Social Security, provided jobs, relief, and a safety net for the most vulnerable. As World War II engulfed Europe, Roosevelt led America into the fight against tyranny. His leadership during the war, working alongside Allied leaders, helped secure victory and establish a new world order. Franklin D. Roosevelt, elected to an unprecedented 4 terms, guided America through its greatest challenges. He left behind a legacy of hope, resilience, and a belief in the power of government to uplift its citizens.
John F. Kennedy, A New Frontier. Our journey continues with John F. Kennedy, a young and charismatic leader who embodied the optimism and energy of a new generation. Kennedy served as the 35th President of the United States from January 20, 1961, until his assassination on November 22, 1963. Kennedy's presidency, though tragically cut short, left an indelible mark on American history. Imagine the thrill of the space race, the challenge of landing a man on the moon before the decade's end. Kennedy, with his inspiring words, ignited the imaginations of Americans. The Cuban Missile Crisis, a tense standoff with the Soviet Union, brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. Kennedy's cool-headed leadership during this crisis helped avert disaster. He championed civil rights, calling for an end to segregation and discrimination. John F. Kennedy's legacy is one of hope, progress, and a belief in the power of America to achieve great things. His presidency, though brief, continues to inspire generations with its message of courage, service, and a call to action. Our journey now takes us to the end of the Cold War with Ronald Reagan, a former actor turned politician who possessed a unique ability to connect with the American people. Ronald Reagan served as the 40th President of the United States from January 20th, 1981 to January 20th, 1989. Reagan, known as the Great Communicator, reshaped the political landscape. Imagine the Berlin Wall, a symbol of division and oppression, crumbling down. Reagan, in his iconic speech at the Brandenburg Gate, challenged Mikhail Gorbachev, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Reagan's economic policies, dubbed Reaganomics, focused on tax cuts, deregulation, and reducing the size of government. His legacy is one of optimism, strength, and a belief in American exceptionalism. He left office with high approval ratings, credited with restoring national pride and helping to bring about the end of the Cold War. Dwight D Eisenhower served as the 34th President of the United States from January 20th, 1953 to January 20th, 1961. He achieved several notable accomplishments during his presidency. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, which established the interstate highway system, revolutionizing transportation and contributing to economic growth. Eisenhower fulfilled his promise to end the Korean War. An armistice was signed in July 1953, effectively halting the conflict and stabilizing the region. He introduced this doctrine in 1957, which aimed to provide U.S. economic and military assistance to Middle Eastern countries, resisting communist aggression, reinforcing U.S. influence in the region. Eisenhower's administration was marked by a strong stance against the spread of communism, including efforts to contain Soviet influence globally through various policies and alliances. Eisenhower worked to strengthen the North Atlantic Treaty Organization (NATO), ensuring collective security against the Soviet threat and solidifying alliances with Western European nations.
James Madison, founding father of the Constitution. James Madison, the 4th President of the United States, served from March 4, 1809 to March 4, 1817. James Madison played a key role in drafting and promoting the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. During his presidency, he led the nation through the War of 1812, defending American sovereignty against British aggression. Madison also supported the rechartering of the Second Bank of the United States and advocated for the economic policies of his time, shaping the early development of the American Republic.
Bill Clinton, an era of prosperity. Our journey continues with Bill Clinton, who presided over an era of economic prosperity and relative peace. Bill Clinton served as the 42nd President of the United States from January 20, 1993 to January 20, 2001. Clinton, a skilled politician with a centrist approach, navigated a complex political landscape. Clinton's economic policies, a blend of free trade and social investment, are credited by many with fostering this period of growth. He signed into law the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, a controversial trade deal. Clinton's presidency was also marked by scandal, including the Monica Lewinsky scandal, which led to his impeachment by the House of Representatives. However, he was acquitted by the Senate and remained in office. Bill Clinton's legacy is one of economic prosperity, a balanced budget, and a pragmatic approach to governing. That's a wrap, folks. Those are the top 10 presidents of the United of America. Washington, Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, Jefferson, Kennedy, Reagan, Eisenhower, Clinton, and Madison each left a profound legacy. Their accomplishments span foundational constitutional principles, economic reforms, military leadership, and foreign policy, shaping America's identity, growth, and global standing. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical insights and fascinating stories. See you next time.